Never trust, yeah. No, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest. Echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
All right, guys, welcome to the live room. Hopefully you're doing well. Let's just get set up here. Ooh, let's, there you go. Hopefully you guys can see me. Lucky you. Hope you're doing well. Actually, let's go to this view. Hope you guys have had a nice weekend. Jash and Phil in the house. Just gonna make sure that I can access the chat here. Let's, how's everyone been doing? Everyone on a nice weekend? Anyone in any trades or closed out any trades? It was non-farm Friday on Friday. Mitchell Rogers in the house. Chris, Eamon, the other Chris. How you doing? Div Deep's in the house. Jamie. David Mackey. Eamon. Good morning. All right. So we are, it sounds a little bit more echoey in here. I don't know if you can pick up on that, but I've removed the sound, the foam pads. Definitely made a difference because we did some decorating, as you can see behind me. The whole office is black. We painted everything black, all the ceilings, walls. So it's a proper Batman den now. And I love it. If you guys have got any trades on your radar, let me know. If you're looking at any setups, let me know. What we're going to do this morning is take a look at what happened on Friday. Looking at really our predictions towards the end of last week, see how they played out, and then take a look at new opportunities that we can get involved with. So if you guys have got any questions as we go through, let me know. We'll engage in the chat as we go through. And yeah, we're going to make a start. So this is a live room where I basically go through 8 currency pairs: Aussie CAD, Aussie dollar, pound dollar, euro dollar, pound Aussie, pound yen, dollar yen, and New Zealand dollar. It normally takes anywhere from an hour to 2 hours, depending on how much is going on. And it's a great opportunity for newer traders and struggling traders, and well, even traders that are trading professionally, to come in and be part of, because they're going to get there's benefit for being part of this room, no matter where you're at in your trading journey. If you're brand new, it's going to give you, it's going to be an eye opener for you to see what trading's really all about. What the approach really looks like, and how active you need to be or not need to be to generate consistent profits. If you're a struggling trader, it's going to reset some bad habits, potentially give you some discipline, some belief transference. And if you're a trader who's trading profitably, it's just a community. It's a great way to come in and engage with people who are like you, which in trading, it's quite rare. So it's a great place all round. And we've got the best community, absolute best community. You don't get toxic comments and, get rich quick comments in this community. It's just a fantastic group of professionals. And that's what we've worked effortlessly to create over the last few years. Just joined, happy to be here. Just entered short on EU, small risk. Could you please touch on that pair? Sure. Marco, before we get to the euro dollar, let us know what your reason for entering was. Let us know why you entered. Bit of accountability for you. But if you can verbalize your analysis, it gives you some kind of accountability to actually iron out any grey areas in your trade plan. Okay, let's get that out of the way. Let's kick off then. We're going to start on the Aussie CAD. Morning, Jamie. Afternoon, sorry, if you're in Australia. We're going to start on the Aussie CAD. We're going to start on the daily timeframes. Before I go through that, though, let's just flick through and see what played out following non-farms on Friday and over yesterday. So on the Aussie dollar, we were looking at this extension, okay, and we had a pullback to the previous support level, should become resistance, and we rolled over. We then pushed back up, had these high test candle wick candles here, almost tweezer tops, and then rolled over again, tested the low, and now we're bouncing between consolidations. So notice how it hit that level like a wall that we were analyzing down here at 67.75s. Hit that like an absolute wall. And again, this is another important reason why you should be analyzing and putting as much effort into your target orders as you do your entry orders. And the same goes for your stops. You want to put your stop in a place where it has, as many barriers as possible. Okay. And you want to put your target order before any potential barriers, but at the same time, at the furthest point you can possibly put it without those barriers. Right. I was talking to a trader yesterday and they were saying that they were scalping 1 minute charts, and they were getting in, and it was like, I think it was like one pip moves or something crazy, right? Now, the person that had told them to scalp the 1 minute chart and get in and out on the 1 minute chart was literally teaching them. He'd sold them a program on scalping 1 minute charts. When I looked at the system and they showed me, because traders seem very interested in showing me their setups, he showed me, the basis or the fundamentals behind the trade plan. And the first red flag was within 2 seconds of him showing me, because he pulled up a chart and he said, "This is what I'm doing. I'm scalping the 1 minute charts, and this is and I went, whoa, that's the market you're trading, right?" And immediately I saw that there was just over a 2 pip spread on the pair that he was trading, and he's taking 1 pip targets. And I said, "What's your strike rate?" And he said, "I'm right about 55% of the time." And I said, "But it's costing you 2 pips to get in, and you're doing a 1-to-1 on a 1 pip trade." And he said, and he's like, funnily enough, he didn't come back for a while. And then he came back later on and said, I've never even thought about that, basically, to cut a long story short. And he was scalping 1 minute charts, paying 2 pips to get in and taking 1-to-1s on 1 pip. And unfortunately, there's people out there selling programs teaching people to scalp 1 minute charts. Day trading, I highly recommend that people don't do any low time frame day trading if they're new to trading. It's like it forces another level of focus, concentration, emotional mastery, risk management, money management, because you have to be able to see things much quicker and react much quicker, and the quality of the trades aren't as high quality as the higher time frames, because you've not got as many traders looking at that particular trade setup as you have on the 4 hour or the daily, right? Entered long Aussie CAD. Swing trade. Cool, we'll take a look at that. I just want to ask how I can hold my trade. Have confidence in it and know the probabilities of the outcome based on historical testing. And then you just, by holding it, you just don't come out of it. I know that sounds obvious, but that's the answer. Just joined, happy to be here, entered short euro dollar, selling above midnight opening price with desired M1 structure, stop loss above Asian range. That sounds very, very subjective, Marco. And I'm not digging you out, but the purpose of this room is to talk to other traders and not say anyone's right or wrong, but absolutely pull people up on anything that I feel would be a problem in my trading. So stop loss above Asian range. What is that? What's an Asian range? That sounds very subjective. Unless you're talking about the Asia session candle and you've got it above the high of that session. And then, that makes perfect sense. Okay. So let's continue flicking through these before we get stuck into today's analysis. So this one played out in favor of the extension. Well done if you caught that. We're now in consolidation here on the 4 hour. So you can see we've got this little structure consolidation zone right here, which we could take a look at later, well, in a bit. Pound dollar. We're looking at a potential double bottom here. This one ended up spiking down, then rallying, which is a little bit annoying, but we've broken close. We gapped down below the zone we were looking at there. So if you managed to catch that, well done. Chances are you didn't. One of the things that I was looking at was divergence, and that just wasn't present. The one on the New Zealand dollar, though, that one did actually play out without breaking and closing below the low. If you look on the daily time frame, that was still valid. So don't know if you guys caught that. Euro dollar, still more consolidation. We did break to this kind of ascending channel to the down. Well, we didn't break to the downside, but you know what I mean. We were kind of putting in lower highs, so we could see a move down there. It's still a bit choppy though. Pound Aussie, choppy. Pound yen, very, very choppy. In fact, this could be a nice shorting opportunity. Not gonna lie. This could be a very nice shorting opportunity. Why? Because the first thing I look at is all this bullish movement, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 strong bullish candles in a row. We know that doesn't go on forever. RSI going overbought. Previous structure with major holds. Okay, so we got like all this structure looking left. And as we approach that level, we could start looking at the lower time frame, potentially the hourly time frame, to get involved in a counter move and capture some profits down to about 162.65 would be where I'd be comfortable taking profits. So there could be a trade there. Dollar yen still pushing up into the old 24-year high. Very interesting. And New Zealand dollar, we just touched on that. So if you guys have got any trade setups, let me know in the chat. If not, we're going to basically just start making our way through these pairs now. Daily down to the 1 hour. I'll just have a sip of my coffee. Lovely job. Entered long Aussie CAD yesterday, 89.28. With a swing trade of 1 to 5, but it was in the red for almost a whole day. I quit today with loss, but now it's going with my analysis. So Josh, it sounds like you haven't tested your strategy. I'm not saying you haven't. That's a common symptom of not testing something. In fact, not testing a strategy is my default go-to answer to analyze anyone's symptoms, usually. Because it usually is, 85, 90% of the time it's because of that. So, let me know if I'm wrong. Here's the difference. If you've tested something and you... Let's just say, right, let's just do this for example, okay? So let's just say that you had this system that was a 5 to 1, okay? And it was a short position, right? And this was a setup here, okay? And you hit 5 to 1, right? And this was the setup, whatever it is, right? 5 to 1. And then you got another setup here, and this was also a 5 to 1, and it played out as per your rules and everything, and you got in, and everything was cushy, and you got another 5 to 1 setup, and then this was a 5 to 1, okay, and you got in, and as per your rules, and you got a 5 to 1 on this one as well, and then you got another setup here. And this is all tested data, and you got another setup here, and it's like, right, okay, here's my thing goes here, I get a 5 to 1, this is how we go in, and this one loses, right? Now, I'm right 3 times, and I'm wrong 1 time, okay? So 1 time out of 4, I'm wrong. And let's just say that you go back and you test this over and over and over and over again, and you figure out that actually... yeah, out of every 10 trades, you're wrong 3 times. And that's the average, right? And you've gone back 10 years, 20 years, and you realize, actually, this is a really good system. Every single 10 trades, I'm wrong 3 times, and then when I'm right, I get a 5 to 1. So in those 3 times, I lose 3%, but the rest of the time, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30%, you have supreme confidence, okay? So when you go forward and you take this trade, and let's just say that this was the trade that came up this time. Let's just say it's this one. This first one again, okay? So we're taking this trade, and you enter the trade down here, and your target's down here at a 5 to 1, right? Somewhere down here, right? And what happens is you enter here, and then or let's just say you enter here, and then the market pushes into the red and stays there for most of the day. All right. When you've got all of that data in your face presenting you with a very high strike rate, high probability strategy over a long period of time, there's no way that you're going to come out early, because you're risking 1% to gain 5. And you know that you're right 7 times out of 10. And you know the profit that you accumulate on that one strategy should you just play it out flawlessly. So what you don't do is you don't have the heebie-jeebies. You don't have the niggles in your head telling you to get out, right? It's like, no, great, I'm definitely staying in this. And not only am I not going to come out of this trade, I'm not going to come out early at all until we hit 5 to 1, like until we hit 89.24. Because what you'll end up doing is you'll end up taking profit as soon as you get into profit to try and make up for the losses that you've now gained as a result, or incurred as a result of breaking your system. So then you enter revenge trading. Make sense? Whenever you do something that you want to beat yourself up about, you're going to enter revenge trading. And you're back to square one. And then what people normally do then as well is, because they don't want to be stopped out, they move their stop loss on the next trade. And then their risk reward looks like this, a 1 to 5. And then they do a 1 to 5 every time to get some money back. And they end up blowing their account in, five trades, between 5 and 10 trades normally. Who's blown their account in 5 trades before? Let me know. Who's blown their account in 5 trades? I hope that makes sense. So, you haven't answered, you haven't come back, so I'm assuming you haven't tested. Yep. Ethan's blown it in 5. Well done. It's quite an achievement. I joke about it, but I've done it. I've blown accounts, right? We've all blown accounts. So, testing the system, that's one of the reasons that it's so important, because you don't have that problem that Jash has got, where he comes out of the trade at a loss and then the thing goes in your direction, because you have confidence in the probable outcome. That's all we can develop, by the way. We can only develop confidence in a probable outcome. And the probable outcome is based off of historical data. Like, why do we get on an airplane? Think about it. We take calculated risks every day, but it's only based on probabilities based on historic data. So what if an airplane come out and it was the first day, and you're like, well, you got to fly to America. It's 6,000 miles, and you got to take a 9-hour, 10-hour flight on this thing. No one's ever been on it, and it's a bit kind of hit and miss. But there you go, here's your ticket. Would you get on the plane? Probably not. Whereas if there's thousands of flights every single day, and you know that there's a minuscule chance of an emergency on that aircraft, you're going to get on. But you're only confident in the flight because you know the historic data. Like we don't know that there isn't something going to go wrong with a plane for certain, but all we can do is ease our mind based on probabilities, based on historic data. And that is all we've got to go on. So testing is arguably the only thing that can equip your mind and prepare your mind mentally for being disciplined in the live markets. Which is why I'm still yet to hear an argument from anyone as to why you wouldn't do that testing phase. I still haven't had anyone come back to me with an argument. Not even an answer. Like they haven't even answered me. I've put out many polls and questions and invited people to come and tell me, and no one's come forward. No one's even come forward with an answer. Like not even an opinion or something to think about. Nothing. Anyway, when you do have a system that you've tested and you know inside out, you have supreme confidence. And you have confidence to the degree that, yes, we don't know what's going to happen next, but you're happy, you know, you're as strong mentally as you possibly can be based on that historic data. Therefore, you are less likely to jeopardize your system or, you know, tweak it or change it up or introduce subjectivity and ambiguity into your system. And that's it. And I know everyone don't want to hear it because the truth is testing's hard. It takes a long time. It's not hard, but it takes a while. And that is why there's so few traders. It's the reason. That is the reason. They don't do the necessary. So, hope that makes sense. So the Aussie CAD now, I'm still just looking for consolidation setups on this. Yes, we had a little break here. We had this head and shoulders set up. But for me, I'm just looking for consolidation setups here. We gapped right down here. Look at that. We gapped down and then pushed back up to where we left off pretty much. That's not a signal that we're likely to continue down to me right now. So I'd be happy to look for consolidation setups. And there's none here for me. I would trade advanced patterns on this pair. So bat patterns, Gartleys, and there's nothing there that I can trade. Even on the hourly, you can see there's not much fun there. So yeah, onto the Aussie dollar. This is a slightly different pair. So this pair I could look at not only some patterns but also some structure-based setups. Okay, so look, we've broken close below, putting a bearish move. We are looking like we're going to test the next level of support, which first of all is here. Between here and here, that's where I would look for a test. Go down to the 4 hour. You're going to see that we have gone into momentary structure consolidation where we've found support at 67.75 and resistance at 68.30, and we've been bouncing between this level over the last few days. There's a couple of setups here, okay? One is trading the breakout. Two is waiting for the test of this zone down here and looking for a counter move, that's definitely something that I will be doing. So if I just bring on my rectangle tool here and draw this little zone, this would be a support zone that I'd look at for taking a counter move. Profit's probably not going to be too great because we've got this strong level of support here, which should become resistance. So when we're taking targets, we want to get a real tight stop. Make sense? Or the other way is to get involved here in a little structure-based long. So I'm going to drop straight down to the intraday time frames or the day trading time frames, 1 hour, and this zone here would be where you might look for a structure-based long. Okay. Now, with day trading, I recommend that you only take setups in the direction of the overall, the macro trend. Okay, so from a day trading perspective, I would only be looking for shorts because we're in a bearish market technically. So I would only be looking for shorts. But for those of you who do trade structure-based setups down here, this zone here might be where you look for either a 3-bar reversal like we had here, or a double bottom, or something else, a doji, low test candle wick, whatever, you know, low test bar, and then you shoot for the highs again. For me, I'd only look for lower time frame shorts on this. What I'd be interested in on this is waiting to see if we can push down to this zone here and then looking for a long. Potentially a reversal on the daily as well. So just going to go through some of these questions. Jamie Doman's never blown an account in 5 trades. Lucky you. Whoops. Thank you. I got your point. I have an average win rate of 65%, but I'm stubborn with accepting losses. Some days I shift my stop loss, telling me the direction will return again, but it doesn't. How should I fix this mindset issue? Okay. You have an average win rate of 65%. Have you tested that strategy historically? Looking at dollar Swiss shorts, break and test. Daily is bearish. Cool, we'll take a look at that. Dollar Swiss. Let's go out to the daily. Yeah, not the nicest. Not the nicest. If you're analyzing this, I mean, yeah, typically if we go out to the weekly, you can see that we are moving sideways here, really. The daily time frame is showing a lower high and a lower low. I'd love to see a lower low, lower close candle on the daily before I start looking at hourly time frame trades. But if you're looking to short, we've had our retest of structure up here, a lower high, a break in violation of the retracement, a push back up into previous support, become resistance, held that like a brick wall. There is an argument for a short here for sure. What's your reason for entering? Like, how do you actually get involved? Break and test. Okay, so you're looking to short about now, Ashley, I think. Let's take a look at the pound dollar whilst you're pondering. So the pound dollar was a structure-based setup that we were looking at based on historical data. And in actual fact, you know, the low was down here. So we didn't actually violate that previous low. So this is still a valid setup. Still a valid setup, and it looks like we're bouncing off of that level right now. You'd have to be a little bit more aggressive to catch it. You got a dip down into that zone, and then we rallied away, or you wait for a retest here, which, you know, we've pulled back a little bit far for a retest, but it still could potentially come back down and grab you for an entry. Or you just pat yourself on the back for being right, and then you know, on to the next one. And you carry out post-market analysis to determine how you can become more aggressive or more accurate on your next setup. Right? And by that, what I mean is what price levels did we hit? You know, at what point did we really turn around? 1500 flat? Was it 1480? 1490? What happened following that? You know, did we really push up, put in a strong move, or did we hover around for a while? Did we consolidate for a while? So you can start to determine how more aggressive you can be in the future. And yeah, you might not come back down to this zone until, when was this? This is 2 years ago. But in 2024, this happens again, you've got another shot at optimizing your system and being a little bit more aggressive and capturing more of the move. And then in 26 and 28 and 32 and so on and so on and so on. This is a long game, right? It's not something we're just looking at for this year. At least I'm not, anyway. I'm looking forward to doing my testing on the dollar yen this Christmas. I'm an intraday trader. Okay, so pound dollar then, we've missed the move. I wouldn't want to short this because of where we are. Okay, if we pull back down, potentially we can get in a long trade. Or if we break and close below, so if we break and close below this low and then pull back up, guess what? There'll be a nice little shorting opportunity in this zone as well. So a couple of things on the radar, maybe to look into later on today or maybe tomorrow. Euro dollar is just very, very choppy. Let's go out on the daily. Very choppy market. This is horrendous. This whipsaw movement is not what I like trading in. It's choppy, it's indecisive, and not a nice trading environment whatsoever. So, yeah, not something that I would like to get involved with from a trend continuation standpoint. Maybe a consolidation strategy in here. Those of you familiar with advanced patterns, ratio patterns, harmonic patterns, whatever you want to call them. There's a Gartley potentially setting up here at the top of this zone. So that could provide you with a shorting opportunity. Other than that, just horrendous, really. It's not a nice market to analyze at all, in my opinion, for my style of trading anyway. These are the juicy ones, right? Look at this. This is juicy. I love seeing this. I love seeing this. Because we are right up, pushing hard into that resistance zone, looking left. Great little test there. And I'm looking forward to seeing how price behaves when we enter this zone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bullish candles in a row. Strong momentum candles. We know that doesn't go on forever. RSI currently tipping out at 75. We've got to be patient, but we can now start to see one smaller candle, an even smaller candle. This is called deceleration. RSI on the hourly up at 82. See this? Let me just show you this. We had this strong momentum candle here, and then we had a smaller candle, and then we had a smaller candle, right? Running out of steam. Loss of momentum. RSI massively overbought. Pushing into previous structure resistance. This is where we're going to start looking for a counter move. I'm not going to rush it. I'm not going to be, I'm not going to be looking to enter this aggressively because it's the pound yen. I need to get tight stops. I need to get high probability. I need to get good reward to risk profile. So I'll definitely be keeping my eye on this. I'm going to set this flag to red. And this is one of the pairs that I'm going to be looking at closely later today to see if I can catch this rollover. And then if the market then just kind of has a little rollover and has a reset and breaks and close above, then obviously we can look for a pullback and look to get long. So we can adapt our analysis to suit. Let's take a quick coffee refill break and we'll get through the rest of these pairs after the break. If you guys have got any questions or any pairs you'd like to look at, let me know. And we'll be back in 13 minutes, which will be at 20 past 8. I'll see you then.
close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And